All right, good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us this morning. I know Mondays are not normally when we do webinars. We normally do them on Thursdays, but today's a special day. It's an exciting day. We've got an exciting announcement, so we wanted to go ahead and get this out there. So with that being said, before I get started on what you're here to hear about, I want to just kind of lay out the ground rules for how we do our webinars. There are a lot of folks on the webinar today, so everyone's going to remain muted. If you have a question, please type that in the question box below. Once I conclude the webinar today, then I'll read those questions for everybody's benefit and answer them to the best of my ability. Those that I do not have answers to, we will look those up and then send that question and answer to everyone that attended today's webinar. In addition to that, once the webinar is complete, there will be a survey at the end. Please answer that. That helps us to make sure that we continue to bring you content that's relevant. And the final announcement before I get started is this will be this week's webinar, so there will not be one on Thursday. However, we will continue to have, for those of you that attend our coffee talks on Thursday, where we discuss items such as the weekly webinar and other sales ideas, that'll continue to happen, and I'll send the invite out, and I'll be sure to include anyone that attended today's webinar in that invite. So all of that out of the way, I want to talk about really what we're here to talk about today, and that is an extremely exciting announcement that we have for you. And without further ado, let's just go. We are releasing an exclusive new new final expense product, and the release date is today. That's the reason I had this webinar this morning. This is the moment that I can begin to talk to agents about it. So this morning we're doing the webinar and releasing this brand new final expense product. What makes it exciting? What makes it exciting is it's a CVS Health branded product. So a couple of months ago, we released the CVS Health Medicare Supplement branded product, and that thing has done extremely well, as we suspected it would, because the rates are really, really good. And of course, it is a huge name with CVS Health. So now we're introducing the CVS Health Ascendo Final Expense product. So again, the same big, huge household name. The rates are going to be, again, really, really good. And this product's going to be, it's really going to be pretty amazing. So let's get into the details about it, what I have now, and I'll kind of give you the timeline of when you can start talking about this plan with your customers, show you the states that it's in and where it's coming very, very soon, kind of give you the rollout plan for where it's at now and where it'll be over the next month or so. We'll get into talking about rates. We'll talk about discounts. We'll talk about application process. This thing is really, really, really smooth and honestly, very important. It's a very important product. If we kind of look here, when we talk about final expense, honestly, everyone in America needs a final expense plan. We really do. We need something to pay for the burial. Most Americans don't have the money. Most Americans don't really want to think about it, but it's something that is a major issue. If you look at a statistic here, and this is from a bankrate.com survey, and it says that 59% of Americans would struggle or have to borrow money to cover an $1,000 emergency expense. That's an astonishing statistic. That goes right along with some of the other webinars that we've done recently when we've talked about hospital indemnity plans to help cover copays under Medicare Advantage plans. All of these supplemental benefits is the reason that we keep talking about these benefits. The Medicare itself is great, but it doesn't cover everything. It still leaves exposures. Even the best Medicare Advantage plan still leaves exposures. So that we have to find ways to cover those exposures. And one of those exposures is your final expenses. As you all know, under Social Security, with a final expense plan, under Social Security at death, you get $255 and they say thank you. So people need coverage for that. And the Bankrate.com survey says 59% of Americans would struggle to come up with $1,000 in an emergency. So how are they going to come up with $10,000 to $12,000? This is a conversation that you deserve to have with your clients. Your clients deserve to hear it. You need to have it. On top of that, final expense is very needed, but now you have a product with a household name that most people know. Nearly 70% of people of Americans live within a few miles of a CVS pharmacy. They know the name. This is a big name. It's just a big deal. So great product, but the name's not all. The name's not all. Let's talk about rates. I can't show you the rate today because it's not available for sale until later this week. But what I can tell you is that in looking at the rates and looking at the rate sheets that I've got, and you'll find all this stuff in your Aetna Senior Products website later this week, and I'll give you the full details here in a second. But the bottom line is when you compare the rates to United of Omaha, Transamerica, pretty much all of the major carriers out there, they're dead in line, right on. I mean, it's you're looking at $1 cheaper than one, $1 more than the other. Bottom line, kind of like a lot of final expense plans, all of the top players are all within $1 or so each other. So essentially, the rates are as good or better than anyone else's out there on the regular preferred. But here's what sets this one apart. What sets this one apart, what sets the Ascendo Medicare, the Ascendo final expense product apart is that it has what they call a super preferred rate option. So what does that mean? What is a super preferred rate? Well, a super preferred rate with this particular final expense product is this. If your client purchases a CVS Health Medicare supplement, and within a 6-month window of that, they purchase the final expense product, they get a 10% discount over the preferred rate of the final expense product. So let's say the rate is $39 for 10,000 a face. Well, if they have the Ascendo Medicare supplement and they bought it within 6 months of the time that they purchased the final expense, then that $39 gets discounted 10%. That's a great deal. Now all of a sudden, your product becomes the best rate product in the house with a huge name. Question comes up, and this has already kind of come up with the staff when I was talking to them about this. Question comes up is, well, what happens if I purchase the final expense product and then like 2 months later I purchase a Medicare supplement? Do I still get the discount? And the answer is yes. Yes, you still get the discount. What they do is there's a method you have to do when you purchase the MedSup. So you already have the final expense, you buy the Medicare supplement, a month or two later, you put on the app that you're adding this and you have this Ascendo final expense. The underwriting it'll go to the underwriting, they'll hit it, they'll go through and apply the discount for future months on your final expense plan. And I've got a frequently asked questions sheet that explains how all that works. But essentially, yes, the bottom line is if you purchase the final expense first and then you buy the Medicare supplement within 6 months, you still get the discounted to the super preferred rate on the final expense. So that's a big deal. That's a big deal. But here's what's even better about it. What's even better about it is not only can your clients get a super preferred rate that's 10% lower than the preferred rate, you as the selling agent still get paid commission on the preferred rates. So what I'm saying is that if, let's say the rate is, for the sake of simple math, because I'm a simple math person, let's say the rate is $100 or $10 and it gets bumped down to $9, well, you get paid on the $10. So what I'm saying is that you don't have to lose 10% commission of the 10% portion of the premium on your commission. You still get the full commission. So the client wins, and then you win. So essentially, if you really think about it, when you look at the client's premium that they're paying, you're getting 10% over the commission level. So it's a big deal. That makes the deal really good. I mean, it's great for the client. Now it's great for you, and it's a win-win-win deal. Strong commissions, you can do advanced or you can do as earned. If you do as earned, they pay them twice a week. Quoting process. There is no height weight chart, so don't have to worry about a height weight chart with this product. They do have it's obviously it's e-app process or a telesales process. Either way, you can do e-app or a telesales. They do on the e-app, if you're doing the electronic application, they have the same thing that they do on their Medicare supplement plan, meaning that you can do the security code question for a signature. So really, really, really flexible in how you can write a telesales e-app. They can sign it with their email. They can sign it just on your touchpad device while you're there, or you can just ask them a security question, and they give you the answer, and then that suffices as a signature. If you want more on how that security question works, reach out to me. I can talk to you about that, or anybody on our staff can help you with that. But it's a pretty slick deal. You can write this plan from 40 to all the way up to 89. You can write as low as a $2,000 base amount. That becomes important when you start looking at that becomes important when you start looking at the people who say, well, I've got that final expenses taken care of at the funeral home, because a lot of times people buy a plan at the funeral home and it covers their funeral, but there's still some other expenses, as you all know from when we've talked about final expense before. There's other expenses that are outside of that realm, and so you may not need a full 10, 12, 14,000. Maybe you need a 2, 4, 6,000. That you can do that with this product. It's pretty flexible. And if your client's doing bank draft, most of us are dealing with over 65 clients. A lot of those folks are living on Social Security, and they have a really kind of tight budget tied to their Social Security payments. Well, with this plan, you can kind of match those bank drafts up with their Social Security payments. So again, we've got a huge name product. We've got really great rates. We've got easy application-based underwriting where you can have an answer in as little as 90 seconds on underwriting, because it's based on the app and it's all electronic. So you fill it out. If you're doing the e-app, once you hit submit, it checks all the box and tells you right away, yay or nay. And you can match. You got a flexible product, and you can match it with your client's needs as far as drafting the premium. So amazing product. Peace of mind, obviously, final expense brings peace of mind. I'll tell a quick story. Had an agent back in the day that he sold a ton of final expense. That was mainly what he did. And one day, him and I were just chatting, and he said, Billy, here's what I love about selling final expense. It's the only product that I offer in my portfolio that when it comes time for the claims to happen, because he used to have this was back in the day, he used to have the claims sent to him, then he would go out and personally deliver them to the client. So he said it's the only time in my career when it come down to claim time, I got to deliver the family a promise that I made them. So that's kind of impactful. Obviously competitive rates, obviously very flexible. Here's something else that's cool, and this is something that can help you sell a lot of product. It has a child/grandchild rider. So you can, if you got those, like I said, you can sell us down to 40. So if you're selling younger, I say younger, I mean, I consider 40 to be younger since I'm over that. If you're selling folks like me, then you can sell a child rider where I can cover my child up to $35,000. Or if you're selling your Medicare age folks, a lot of times, especially, they want to take care of, they're doing things for their grandchildren. You can add that on there. They can add a grandchild rider on it up to $35,000. The beauty of that rider is that it can be converted by that child once they become adult to a permanent policy. And why is that important? Well, let's say something happens. Let's say you get a rider on this child, and then that child develops some sort of illness, and then older in life they're no longer insurable, if you will. Well, if they had this child rider, it's guaranteed convertible, regardless of their health, to a permanent policy. There's an accelerated death benefit rider on it, which allows them to accelerate the death benefit, and then an accidental death rider, which we all know what that is. So standard stuff there, except the grandchild rider is pretty cool. Here's where it's at. This is day one. Day one is June the 17th. So today's the 15th. So in 2 days, this product's available for sale in these bright red states. So you can see this, the product says available for sale on June the 17th. And I can get you a full list of this if you can't really see the colors good on your screen. And then phase two, which is July the 18th. So July the 18th, it goes into the dark red states. And then the states that are dark gray on here, which are, I can read those out for you because there's not that many of them, which is California, Washington, North Dakota, South Dakota, Florida, Pennsylvania, Maryland, and Connecticut. Those states are filed and we're waiting approval. So once those states approve the product, then it'll be available in those states. And then the only states that's not filed in is right up there in the very top northeast corner of the country. But the bottom line is that either this week, the middle, a month from now, or as soon as the state approves them, this product is going to be available in just about every state. With this advent that we've kind of this new normal that we've gotten used to with virtual selling and virtual face-to-face meetings and telephonic sales, this product, as long as you got a license, you can market and sell it anywhere you got, because it's really seamless to do either telephonically or even in a virtual face-to-face Zoom type meeting. And we have some trainings on how to do those things on our website if you'd like to see those. So that's the states that it's available in starting 2 days from now, and then on July the 18th, you can see the phase two states. By the time we get to there, that'll be most of the country, and then we're just waiting on some of the other states, like the one I'm sitting in here in Florida, to approve it, and once they approve it, then we'll be ready to go there. Talked about the e-app process. Much like the Ascendo Medicare Supplement, it works pretty much the same way. You log into your Aetna Senior Market website. You can run the quote right there. You can add, you just add it through your cart, go through the app process. I've got a webinar on how to go through that process. If you hadn't seen it, how's on our website. Or if I'll be happy to walk you through it if you want to call me and talk about it. It's pretty simple and pretty seamless. There's going to be a lot of materials available for you on the agent website where you can market this plan. That's going to be pre-branded with CVS Health. If you want to market this as a CVS Health product, use these pre-branded products. However, if you want to do something different, there is a process to go through if you'd like to use the CVS Health logo, but it is a process and you do have to get things approved. But they do produce a lot of really nice pieces for you, from print ads to social media ads, as you can see here, email ads. So there's a lot of stuff that's pre-built for you that's going to be available on the agent portal. Actually, you should start seeing some of that stuff here in the next day or so. But let's talk about what this means commission-wise. We know your clients need a product. We know your clients need final expense products, no doubt about it. Why do you need to offer it? Not only do your clients need it, but it really adds to the bottom line of your agency. So let's talk about a Medicare supplement example. Okay, let's say if we show this final expense product with every Medicare supplement, and you sell 30% of them of final expense, which is actually a pretty average rate. If you show it every time you show a Medicare supplement, 30% is pretty. I would say average to low average, but it's right there in the middle of the ballpark as far as success rate. So let's look at an example here. If you did 100 Medicare supplements, you'd get about $29,000 of commission on that for 100 Medicare supplements. I put a little asterisk on there because there's a lot of variances in there, though. But that's just based on a street level commission on a 65 female rate out of a particular state. So, your commission may vary slightly, but roughly $29,000 in commission for selling 100 Medicare supplements. If you show the Ascendo product every time, and you sell 30% of them, that would add an additional $11,800 in commission. And again, that's based on a standard street level contract. On a 65 female, obviously rates will vary depending on age, so forth and so on. But just on an average, you're looking at almost $12,000 additional income just for taking that extra step to protecting your client. It's a big deal. So, but what if you're mainly a Medicare Advantage salesperson? Okay, well, hey, Billy, I do Medicare Advantage mainly. So let's look at an example of that. If you show CVS Ascendo Final Expense to all your Medicare Advantage clients, and then please pay attention to the asterisk. You cannot do it at the time of sale. I want to make sure that I make that very clear, that you cannot show final expense at the time of sale with a Medicare Advantage plan. However, you can go back to all of them in January once their plan's in force and talk about holes in their plan and show them all solutions to those holes like we talk about all the time. And one of those is final expense. So if you show this to everybody you sold a Medicare Advantage to, let's say you had an AEP where you sold 100 Medicare Advantage sales. And again, I'm assuming 70% replacement, 30% new to Medicare, just kind of creating an arbitrary number there. But that'd be roughly 32,500, somewhere between 28 and 32,000 in commission for selling 100 Medicare Advantage sales. Pretty good. But again, if just 30% of them would take that final expense plan, because you went back to your clients after the sale, again, you cannot do it at time of sale, and showed them all final expense because they need it. Remember, 59% of people would struggle to come up with $1,000 or would have to borrow money in an emergency. That's a big deal. They need it. You would add, again, $11,800 to your bottom line, almost $12,000 to your bottom line. So it's a product that your clients desperately need, but it's also a product that can greatly enhance the income you have coming into your agency. And what that would allow you to do is not only build a stronger agency, give you more marketing budget to reach more people and help more people. This is a win deal. It's a winner. This deal is a big, big winner. Now, what if you don't have any clients though? What if you don't have any clients and you don't know what to do now? Hey, I need some clients because I don't have anybody to go see. Well, I can help you with that. We can help you with that. First of all, any clients that you do have that you haven't talked to them about final expense, you need to go do that because, again, they need it. Remember that 59% of Americans statistic from bankrate.com. Your clients need it. But if you don't have any clients, you're just getting started, and you're like, what do? I can help with that. We can help you with leads. We can absolutely help you with leads. And we have a nice final expense co-op lead program. Essentially, you supply the sales, I'll supply the leads. What I mean by that, I don't want anybody to think that I'm just going to be handing out free leads. It's going to require production, but we can absolutely get you on a program where we're either co-oping or even paying for leads, depending on how much production you're doing. So reach out to me. I can help you with that, or Ty in the office, he can help you with that as well. But we can get you in front of some folks with an amazing product, branded with a name everybody knows, great rates. And I can't stress enough on that super preferred rate deal. We're talking about taking 10% off the preferred rates for your client, but you still get paid commission on the preferred rate. So you don't have to get paid commission on the lower rate. This slide says it all. Tap the potential of the CVS name. Tap the potential of the CVS name. From between my house and where I'm sitting right now in my office, I pass two CVS pharmacies. Nearly 70% of Americans live within 3 miles of a CVS pharmacy. You have a powerful name in front of you, and you've got a product branded with that name with great rates, great commission. Your clients need it. I mean, this deal's a winner all around. You do need an Aetna supplemental contract to sell it because it is through Aetna, the CVS Health product, the Ascendo product is through Aetna. You need an Aetna supplemental contract to sell it. If you don't have one, here's how you get one. Email Patty or call Patty in our office, and she will get you hooked up today. Or you can reach out to me, and I will help you get hooked up today, or really anybody else in our office. Just call the 800 number and hit 0 and ask whoever answered the phone to get you hooked up with CVS Health. But Patty's the one that's going to process the contract, so really just email her directly, and she can help you. She can help you kind of get that ball rolling if you don't have it right now. If you do have an Aetna supplemental contract right now, in other words, you're set up to sell the the Ascendo Medicare supplement plan, then you don't have to do anything. You're already ready to sell the Ascendo the Ascendo Final Expense once it becomes available in your state. So those states that's phase one, those of you that have a CVS the Aetna supplemental contract, those phase one states, you'll be ready to sell on Wednesday. Phase two states, you'll be ready to sell on July the 18th. If you do not have a contract, get it done now. The beauty is most of the states, if you don't have a contract and you got somebody to sell right now, most of the states do just-in-time contracting, so it's a pretty quick process. And there are a few states that require pre-contracting, and if you're in one of those states, we'll help you make sure you get set up first. But the good news is they'll contract you pretty quick. Online sales, easy app process. This deal is a winner across the board. We're extremely excited to announce this product under the Integrity platform in conjunction with our Ascendo Medicare supplement product. We now have the CVS Health Ascendo Final Expense product. Who knows what's next? We just got to keep waiting. But the beauty is this product can really, really go crazy for you. You can help a lot of clients, make a lot of money, and we're here to help you in any way that we can. If you're not comfortable with final expense because it's not something you've done before, reach out to us. We can help you. It's really quite simple. Application-based underwriting, no additional underwriting there. With this one in particular, there's no height weight chart. So it's a really slick process, super easy to do. Reach out to us and let us help you. That was 27 minutes. I knew that wouldn't take very long because it doesn't really take a long time to talk about final expense, but I did want to mention a couple of things. One, obviously introduce the product, but two, I wanted to talk about a couple of the little nuances of it, like the super preferred rate. So now's the time to send you questions. I'm getting a few of them in, so I'm going to read those out for everybody's benefit and answer them to the best of my ability. If I don't have the answer, as I said before, I will I will get the answer and then send everybody on the webinar the question that was asked along with the answer so that everyone has it. So I'm going to go through these. If you have a question comes up while I'm going through these, go ahead and send those out. On the discount, the super preferred discount, the Aetna Medicare Advantage plans don't count on that. It has to specifically be the Ascendo Medicare supplement plan. And I know some of you guys in Missouri don't quite have that product yet because it's pending the state approval. But the good news is like I said, which is weird because you're going to have the final expense product. You're in phase one. Missouri's in phase one on the final expense. But here's the beauty of that. If you're in Missouri and you hook them up on this final expense, once the state of Missouri does approve the Medicare supplement, as long as it's been within 6 months, and they'll get the backdated discounted rate. However, on the final expense, even without the discount, man, this thing I'm telling you, it's right there. It's on the par competitive with United of Omaha, with Transamerica, with all the other big final expense plans out there. Okay, somebody's asking, what about underwriting? Again, it's all just app-based, even on the riders. It just is a few questions on the app, and that's it. So it's a good, easy, underwritten product, on par with most of the final expense plans out there. But there's not any additional stuff for the riders. Somebody asking about the state of Arkansas. Yes, Arkansas is in phase 2, so that'll be releasing officially in Arkansas on July the 18th. However, Arkansas does currently have the Ascendo Medicare supplement plan. So if you got somebody that's been looking at that, it's a good opportunity to go put them on that. And then on July the 18th, you can show them that final expense plan and they would be eligible for that super preferred rate. So, but yeah, Arkansas is in phase 2. It'll be available July the 18th. Can you talk to MAPD clients about this product if they signed the life insurance box on the SOA? I'm going to tell you this because this is the way that we've always put it out there: is not on only talk health products at a Medicare Advantage appointment. This, of course, is a life product, so it needs to be a separate appointment. But again, what a perfect opportunity to go back to your clients after the first of the year. First of all, you go back to, hey, Mrs. Client, want to make sure that you signed up with XYZ MAPD plan. Want to make sure it's working the way you thought it would work. And also, I wanted to talk to you about something that Medicare doesn't cover. Underwriting conditions, disqualify for coverage. I can get the sample application for everybody so you can take a look at them. I will send those out to you on Wednesday, whenever it's officially available for sale. But that'll be the underwriting questions. I'll get you the sample app so you can take a look at that and see what underwriting questions are on there. But again, it's just simple application-based underwriting. There's no addition. The great thing again is there's no height weight chart. Like some of them have a height weight chart where you have to get through the app and then you can't be with certain height or weight. This one, not a problem. Okay, 10% discount on the MedSup only. I think that was a continuation of the question from earlier. Yes, you got to purchase specifically again the Ascendo Medicare supplement within 6 months, or purchase the final expense within 6 months of the Ascendo Medicare supplement, or vice versa. Within 6 months of each other, you get 10% discount on the final expense plan, but not the Medicare Advantage, only the sup. And again, I want to make sure I'm clear on that. It's specifically the Ascendo Medicare supplement plan. So Aetna has another Medicare supplement plan that's not CVS Health branded. The 10% discount on the Ascendo final expense, the CVS Health final expense, only applies if you have the CVS Health Medicare supplement. So it's important that you understand that. Which I don't know why you wouldn't buy that one if you have the choice between the two, because the Ascendo's plan a better deal. Now, I got it in Missouri. You don't have the Ascendo plan yet, but it's filed. We're just waiting on approval. Can you use the name in your logo, the name logo in your marketing? You can if you use the specific stuff that they're going to put out for you on your agent website. So you can on the agent website, they'll have the branded stuff already created. You can use those. However, if you want to do anything else with their logo, there is a process you have to go through to get that approved. Reach out to me, and I can help you with that process. But yeah, that you can. There is technically a way to do it. It's going to be a little bit more of a process. A little bit more of a process. All right. Automatic disqualifiers on the policy. Again, it's going to be the typical stuff you see on final expense applications, and like I said, I'll get everybody a copy of the application so you can see that. And then asking about graded death benefit and final and guarantee issue. It's not going to be a guarantee issue, but we can help you with that if you have a guarantee issue need on a final expense. We can help you with that. We can also look at it on a graded death benefit, but we probably would look at something else on that, because I've got some other plans that maybe that are more specialized for that particular style of plan that we can help you with that. But that's the kind of thing we just look at on a case by case basis and see if this one works or if there's another one that works better. But as far as the standard everyday final expense plan, this deal is kind of should become your go-to plan with such a name recognition, such great rates, the opportunity to get the super preferred rates if they're buying the MedSup from you. But again, I want to stress, even without the super preferred rates, this thing is extremely competitive, has a really great commission rate, and it still has the CVS Health name. So don't get too hung up on it. It's just if they happen to have an Ascendo Medicare supplement, or you happen to have that in your portfolio and you're out selling Medicare supplement, there's no reason not to sell the Ascendo Medicare supplement, because quite frankly, its rates are good or better than anybody else you're selling. but especially if you think you're going to show them a final expense too. I mean, what a deal! And oh, by the way, if you're doing the e-app and you're selling the Ascendo Medicare supplement and you're going to go ahead and show them and sell them the final expense at the same time, not only do they get the super preferred discounted rates, but you can process it all through the same e-app process. You don't have to go out and come back in and start a new app. You just transition right into the final expense app. It's really slick how they do that. So next steps, get contracted. If you're not, if you are, start checking your agent portal because these materials are going to start showing up, especially for those phase 1 states. And reach out to us with needs, wants, questions. We will work as hard as we can to get you what you need to sell as much of this product as you can. I want to thank everyone for joining me this morning. That's all the questions I have in the hopper right now. Again, if you have any additional questions beyond these, just reach out to us. We're here for you. Thank you all for joining us. Have a wonderful Monday, and we'll talk to you next time.